Hi, it's Julie again, and I am here with another set of people from our current production, Above the Sand. And with me right now, I have Dave and Eva Bower. Dave and Eva Bower are playing two live historical characters, Milton Wright and his daughter, Catherine Wright. And what I think is so cool is that Dave and Eva are also father and daughter.
Yeah.
So of course my first question to you guys is, what's it like to be a father and daughter playing a father and daughter?
This is our first show playing father and daughter.
Okay. And it's your
not
first
just
show
playing,
together,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
More importantly, it's our first show together.
Awesome.
And so, we've been wanting to do a show together for a while. We've been talking about doing a show together for a while.
Long time.
Really long time. Yeah. And so it's great. And we're very fortunate and happy that if I could speak for both of us, but I say that we're very happy that our schedules aligned, so that we could actually not only audition to be in a show together, but end up being in a show together.
That's awesome.
So.
And then just the added caveat of being father and daughter.
Yeah, because we didn't expect anything like that to happen. So yeah, it's really cool.
It was more often than not, it would just have been that there would have been opportunities for her or opportunities for me and not opportunities for us together.
Yeah.
And it's been a really interesting, if not a little bit surreal experience, because we've done a lot of singing together.
Okay.
In various types, but all of my observation of her theater work has been with her mom and I sitting on the other side of the footlights.
Yeah.
So it's been been a really interesting thing to sort of observe her working from this side, and I've been trying. She's had more sort of systematic training in theater than I have, so I've been kind of cribbing things from her on the slide.
But you also have more systematic choral experience.
Sure.
So we're able to learn from each other in that respect, and
That's
that's
awesome.
really cool.
Now, you're playing members of the Wright family, so they are historical people. They really did exist. Did you do any kind of research about them and learn anything about them?
Been doing some. I wanted to start with whatever Tom had written in the script to see about that, and then wanted to go and find out some information about him, about Milton just in general. I think Milton has been at least in the context of Tom's show, has been there to kind of to be a foil for the children, and just to maybe just rein them in a little bit when something needed to happen. So
My alarm's going off. I
That's okay.
apologize.
No worries.
So just to rein the kids in a little bit, and Catherine in particular.
And in some places to push the kids.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think so. In the one scene during Paul's book, there was a little bit just to provide some guidance and things like that. But I did then go back and look. There's been a fairly recent biography of the Wright brothers. I can't remember the author off the top of my head, but I have the book in my bag downstairs, and I've been just referring to it every so often, just to get an idea of what Milton was really like. Because on the one hand, he was a sort of a very stern character, but on the other hand, he was very much a sort of a model of his time, or a product of his time. He was rather conservative and very much a father in the mold of fathers of that time. But on the other hand, late in his life, he did women's suffrages marches with Catherine and Orville.
Oh wow!
So there was.
He really grew.
So that he did. And he was an older parent too, and that was just a sort of very interesting thing to see. But he's a smaller part in this show, so I wanted to sort of be able to play what Tom had put on the page, but then also just inform myself a little bit about what Milton was like in real life.
Yeah.
And the great thing about the biography he was talking about is that it's been a real gift, because Tom mentioned it to both of us, because it really shows the brothers in the context of their family. Because a lot of people, when I've been telling people about the show, a lot of people are like, wait, the brothers have siblings? And I think that's gotten lost to history. So, Wilbur and Orville had 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And Orville and Catherine are the 2 youngest, and they have the same birthday. They're exactly 3 years apart. And so, it's what I love about this show is that it kind of puts them back into the context of their family while also showing their work. So, my partner and I went up to Carry-On Park, and then we went to the National Park as well, and did some research and saw, the 1905 flyer in the way that Orville designed it to be displayed. And then I've also done some research on the Library of Congress's online archives into Catherine's correspondence with her family, because she was back in Dayton while they were in Kitty Hawk,
Right.
And she was really the one running the shop, and so then, when things were starting to take off for them, she wasn't really publicly supporting them until, they were on their opposite sides of the world, and one brother was doing demonstrations in one place and one was doing demonstrations in another place, and then when both brothers were in the same place, then they brought her, and it was, because it was very much, how does she find her place in a situation where it's very much a man's world at that point.
Yeah.
Which is why I love that we've brought Bessie Coleman to the story as well.
Yeah.
And so just giving a character that I didn't know existed, because I didn't know that Catherine existed,
Yeah.
because
We don't
ever hear about them, nor do we hear about Rosalind and Lauren.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that was important for me when I was up in Dayton was to visit the burial site.
Okay.
Because it's so important to me, and I just took a moment and just seeing how well taken care of that area is, puts everything kind of into perspective, because you can read about people, but then when you see where they're buried, it's like they become a real person. It's like, wow, they're like, I'm standing next to her headstone. And I think the really fun part in the research for me was that Catherine was the only one in her household that graduated college.
Oh, wow.
Both of her parents went to college, they met in college, they didn't finish college. Catherine was the only one that finished college and graduated, because Wilbur had his accident, Orville didn't want to go to college, Rosalind and Lauren both had families, or married, and then Catherine actually graduated from the same place my dad did his undergrad.
Oh, wow, that's
So Catherine graduated from Oberlin, and I was texting my dad when I was at Carry-On Park, and I was like, Dad, Catherine went to Oberlin! Yeah. And we were just it kind of feels full circle, and now it feels so personal, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's another interesting connection between the Wrights and our family, which is that Milton Wright was a minister in the Brethren Church, and my maternal grandfather was a minister in the Brethren Church before he became an Episcopal priest.
Okay.
So it's a really interesting.
And wouldn't that have been about the same time too?
No, later.
No, later.
My grandfather was.
Oh,
later.
grandfather. Yeah. So it's pretty cool, but also at one point, aren't you in clerics at one point in the show?
Oh yes, for all the time that I'm Milton.
It was really fun seeing the costume parade the other day, because I've grown up seeing both of my grandfathers in clerics, and so it was kind of funny to me, because you look so much like so many younger pictures of Gramps.
My grandfather.
Well,
of your, both my dad and my grandfather.
Yeah, and it's really wonderful, because I've never seen you in clerics.
No. Well, there was no reason to.
Exactly.
I think my mother's gonna freak out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit.
And I get to dance with my dad in the show.
Oh, that's fun.
And that's a dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hope.
Oh, it's so much fun.
She says so much. She says so much.
Now, this is your first show with MCP, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And your experience so far has been pretty good?
Yeah. And I've learned a lot from my peers, especially because we moved back to the area. I still fairly recently, And so, you know, I did, you know, professional theater in the area, but I haven't gotten to like do a community theater show here. And so, getting to do that with my dad is really amazing, but also finding a community theater that is a community, not just like, it feels like a community for one show.
Right.
It is a community of people. And so there are people who are like talking about the next show and like, what a next season sounds interesting to you. I was like, well, this, and this.
Well, that's awesome.
Lots of people in this group will be back to do other things.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was particularly interesting was a lot of people consider this to be, maybe they do productions in other places, they consider this to be their home base, which is a really fun, is a really fun thing, and it is really a community, and a lot of people are talking about it as being part of their extended family. And it's a really important thing if you're going to devote a lot of your unpaid free time to doing something, and it's going to make a commitment to it. Then it's nice to have that many people that you enjoy spending that kind of time with.
Yeah,
for sure.
The first time I met Corey and Nico, who are playing my brothers, however long ago that was, because I lost
only a couple of months.
I know.
Not
It was
very
like
long
the first
ago.
time I met them, it was okay. These are going to be the people that I hang out with, and they're great. And finding, you know, people my age in a community theater is really important because I'm used to being like the youngest person in the room, especially when it comes to like family settings. And so it's been really cool finding people that I can like joke around with and have fun with. And I love that I spend the majority of my time on stage with them because we have a lot of fun. And there was an instance, I don't know if you remember this, where we were all like cracking up on stage, and Dad was in the scene too, but he didn't see what happened.
No, I didn't.
And so he didn't have any context, and he was looking at us like, why are the three of you laughing? And it was just, it's things like that that make me go, okay, this is a place I want to keep performing.
Absolutely. And this is a show that you're going to want to see. So please, please, please make sure that you get your tickets for Above the Sand at the Mason Community Playhouse. You can get the tickets at masonplayers.org. We open July 21st. And if you want to come and you want to see Dave and Eva play Milton and Catherine Wright, then you want to make sure you get those tickets soon. And we hope to see you there. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Yeah, thank you.